And today we have our lovely guest, David Lenn. How about you introduce yourself, Dave? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Uh, I'm an enlightened individual. It came about, I had a passing back in 2010 of cardiac arrest. And that's when I made contact then. And I was told it was due to enlarge my heart chakra and to let me know that I'd be receiving information that I was to pass on. Being the character type that I am, when I came back to these voices that I was getting in my head, I ignored. I wouldn't listen to them. I thought it was part of my PTSD or something. But everything that I had researched, that the information that I was receiving was spot on. It never misled me. It was, so I basically began to trust it. And once I started listening to it and trusting it, the stronger it became. And it just took off from there.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, yeah, that's a hell of a way to be struck by lightning, but the connection was made.
Definitely.
Doesn't sound like an easy journey. I don't think cardiac arrest is like the easiest way to get these skills, eh?
Definitely.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to throw some things out there about the falseness behind the Galactic Federation of Light, and to explain to people exactly who they really are.
Shoot.
The Galactic Federation of Light is a hybrid race that were created by the Dark Greys of Rigel when they attacked the Nordic humans in the Procyon star in the Canis Minor constellation, stealing their genetics to create a hybrid, which is called the Samhace Luciferian Pleiadians. And they stole their genetics to take on the human form, to further infiltrate other multidimensional beings and to infiltrating their places as well.
Yeah, so
they are not the good Pleiadians that everybody thinks that they are. As with anything, they'll talk a direct line. And then what I actually used to follow them for a while when I was first awakening. And then I'd probably say about 2 years ago, their information started conflicting with the information I was receiving. So I started questioning them on things, and they would basically argue with me. No, that you're not right. This is how it is, and I knew damn well it wasn't right.
There's nothing like
a bit of fact, right before this interview, they just posted another one. You're gonna laugh at this. And they said, our upgrades are ready. This is what we've been waiting for. Not to worry, that we've got new bodies waiting for us in our new simulation. Why go into a new reality, driving an old car when we can have new cars? And I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, then why the hell do we got to raise our vibration and turn into a crystalline body if we've already got enough
waiting for us? Yeah,
we didn't have to do none of that. Yeah, I just listened to that literally like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, right.
And they literally stated that we would be entering a new, improved simulation that they had created for us, and that they would have new simulated avatars waiting for us.
Well, is this I heard something about this from a friend. They said that they want to take all the humans off the earth and put them in somewhere fresh. And
unfortunately, they're going to need a few of us here, because Gaia can't survive without the humans here.
Well, yeah, that's what.
So they would keep just enough of us here. What's that?
That's what Sophia was saying. The first channel discussion with Sophia talked about that, but Gaia doesn't get everything she needs from the sun. She needs some from us too.
Yes, we are a part of her creation, and as with polarities, coexisting, harmony and
Mhm.
balance. Gaia needs the humans need Gaia. That's the only way that it runs.
That's
And
cool.
so they can't come here and just, take over the planet. So in my idea, I'm thinking that they would, I don't know, this is where the human zoos would come from. We'd be their pets. They're gardeners, basically.
It's a big ask, isn't it? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's the same offer that all the invaders always make. We have superior technology. We'll change your way of life. We'll bring you technology and better medicine, and et cetera, et cetera. But unfortunately, you'll work for us forever.
Exactly.
It's not the
Yeah.
offer any of us want to take. I don't know anyone who thinks the reptilians are gone, but I don't think anybody wants a new slave master. I don't think that's really what our agenda is about. I don't really
Well,
plan.
they had signed a treaty with the reptilians 300 years ago, which was something transpired on another planet.
Mhm.
And so, as part of the treaty, they were allowed access to see themselves here amongst us.
Mhm.
Once again, we were, backstabbed and,
Oh, look,
abandoned
we
left,
were a
right, and right.
consolation prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, unfortunate to us is Earth is one of the top 12% planets, one of the prime planets in the multiverses.
It's not a bad place to be, yeah. And we're enjoying it. So why are we leaving? What's the invitation to leave about? What's that for?
Exactly.
This place
Yeah.
is pretty lush. Like there's nowhere else to be. So
Yeah.
tell me more about this hybrid Pleiadian species, this Luciferian, what you call it, Hus,
Samhaus
Sam Hus.
Luciferian Pleiadian race. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a hybrid. The dark grays from Rigel and the Nordic humans.
And like how present are they? Like where are they? What are they doing here?
They're very, very much planted and seated here already.
Mm-hmm.
They're amongst us. They have been. They have every intentions on overpopulating this place.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I was offered a job through the secret space program,
Mm-hmm.
as head of security for a certain upcoming project,
Yep.
and plans kept changing, plans kept changing, and then from a 15-year construction build, I was told, well, it's only going to take a 4-month construction build because the Pleiadians are going to use their technology to build it, but in return, so they're not just handing something over because they're not allowed to just help us evolve. That we were just asked to maintain the gardening.
Wow.
What was I saying before?
Well,
You know,
it fits in pretty perfectly with what Sophia was saying about humans being their pets.
yeah,
Yeah, and I can
the
imagine
caretakers.
I can imagine humanity getting zero education and therefore posing zero threat to them in the future,
Yeah, exactly.
But
We'd be nothing more than here to be caretakers of Gaia so that they can flourish in it.
well, look,
Sound familiar?
well, yeah, look, yeah, let's turn the whole of humanity into an underclass. Awesome
Yeah.
plan. Um,
Yeah, it's everybody's taking their turn,
well, yeah, everybody wants a turn, that's for sure. And so, was it just the Pleiadian, these Pleiadians who wanted that? I mean, are they the only type here present on Earth? Is that the singular? Are all the
Oh no,
Pleiadians
There
this group?
there's what was going to happen is the plans of this certain uh establishment,
Mm-hmm.
they requested to have the size to be, tenfold, because this was not just going to be the establishment that it was planned for, but they were also going to, and then informed us that it was going to be the new headquarters for the Pleiadian and Arcturian race. It's the Earth base headquarter,
Wow. Okay.
base for the Pleiadian Arcturian. But then now the Arcturians are MIA.
Yeah,
Once
no, they've
they,
got their own problems going on, eh?
yeah, they've found out how to seed the spark of source into a being, and once they figured out that creation, they vanished.
Well, it's yeah, we've got similar information that they've at least become insular. They've closed their gates to the rest of the galaxy, and they're not interested in talking to anybody. But six of
Well,
one, half and the other. The end result
they're
is,
gods now, you know.
well, the end result, they're not here, so it's not our problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, practical terms, like
Sure.
whatever. But you know, the Arcturians don't sound like they were our friend either.
It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't
No.
seem like humanity's got a very many allies.
Well, and who do we have? Do we have anyone out there who gives a stuff about us?
No,
No.
the only thing that we've got going for us now is some of the multidimensional beings that have been here throughout the duration,
Mm-hmm.
from inner Earth, Agartha,
Yep.
have surfaced, and they're here to help, with the cleanup process of things like that. But other than that, they still could care less if they live amongst us. I think they're just going to help us clean up and disappear again.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Look, we've been polluting pretty seriously for the last 100 years. I don't think,
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that the temperature is going to change, but there is quite a fair bit of poison being floated around in our oceans, etc., and our air, etc., etc.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, if it impacts them, it's only in their interest to come out and give the place a wash, so to speak.
exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of much like the rings of Saturn. They're not ice crystals.
No.
Yeah, they're metal. What is that? The chemtrails that they're kind of and still around us.
Yeah, look, we did have a mission that had that thing acting as a radio beacon, as a giant satellite dish or something to that effect.
Exactly. That's what the metals the rings are for. It
Yeah.
helps transmit, and then the moon's the satellite, and it picks up and it transfers back and forth. But
Look, my physics isn't up to date with that. I wouldn't know what, it'd be very, very easy for that stuff to go straight over my head. But so there's nobody out there who cares about us. Maybe some of the Agathans.
pretty much.
All right. So, if you've
Well,
been, if you've
our
been,
higher dimensional selves. That's
okay.
about it.
Well, look, I've got a couple of key questions for you. You've been invited to head security for an SSP project, right? Which
Yes.
means you're probably in the know about a few things that not everybody else is. And I'll ask you a very simple one to begin with. Is the Earth round or flat?
It's round.
All right. And the flat Earth story is just a psyop to divert resources and thought time of conspiracy
Yes.
theorists? Right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So, okay, then I'll go into the story of Admiral David Baird from the 40s. And he flew to Antarctica, and he said, he had 2 missions down there, and he found another Earth, right? So do you want to spend some time? What's he talking about? What do you know about this story?
Antarctica is pretty much the ice walls
Mm-hmm.
that have us enclosed. We are prisoners within these ice walls.
Mm-hmm.
The lands beyond it are celestial lands where the creator gods and their civilizations live. So we are not allowed to go beyond the walls.
So us mere mortals can't go visit.
Exactly. It's the off land. That's the outer space that we're not supposed to be
All right. So
infiltrating.
my joke. Okay, so you're talking about for me, like the area outside beyond the ice walls is actually like flat Earth stuff, but you're talking about it in terms of
Yes,
round
it
Earth stuff.
is. It is a lot larger. Yeah, it's pretty much the same theory, but I mean, there's so much land that we don't even have access to. We are basically in a gated prison community within these walls.
So does that mean like we have like the Earth as we know it takes up like 20% of the actual planet or something like that?
Yeah, and inner Earth, they've discovered more oceans under the oceans, and the oceans underneath the oceans that they've discovered, they're estimating hold 30 to 40% more than the oceans that we know.
That's big. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is something to the entire flat Earth story, but it sounds like it got mangled on the way through.
Well, yeah, the flat Earth theory, I believe, is that I think they have different levels, and I think that they're describing it that way because of, if you were to go inside inner Earth, you would be descending, because there are different levels. The reptilians live on one level, and then below that you got different. They're different levels.
There's all sorts of characters down there. There's all sorts of species down there. Like
yes,
some of our flight time was spent down there, and it's like the beings we encounter are amazing and horrific at the same time.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So you're already in the know. Why the hell are you talking to me?
I admire what you do. I won't lie.
Yeah, cool. What was it that caught your attention?
I like how you almost find it humorous, taking on the the dark. And that's pretty much how I look at it too. It's like, they don't scare me. They're not going to intimidate me.
No, they are.
But you just talk about it like you're walking a dog or something. So I found it pretty impressive.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you do need to know that the things that you and your teams are doing are, oh wow, yeah, you're making a big difference.
It's impactful. Yeah. Oh, well,
yeah. Not just on this planet, it's affecting other parallel universes, actual universes, not just planets.
Oh yeah, it's I mean, I'm sure you guys have got better data gathering material than we do, but yeah, we have missions into parallel realities or parallel time streams. We've won battles for other civilizations over there, and we've made friends across those divides. Some of the demons that we hit span hundreds of planets in our galaxy, and we've found a way to flip them from evil to not so evil. We've got like we know that but this is incidental. Like the number one priority here is to get Earth back for the fucking humans, and the reason.
And you know what? It's the humans that are they said nobody's going to come save you. They're right. They've been telling us the entire time.
It's a fairy story. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, no, but we don't want them here. Like, every single colonization on planet Earth, historically, the locals, the promises are the same. It's always, we'll give you technology, we'll give you a better way of life, we'll give you better medicine, etc., etc. And and we'll work. You'll have to work for us forever. But then the local culture starts to imitate, or wants to imitate, the invading culture. And so all of these small Southeast Asian nations all across Africa, people were trying to be British or French or Spanish. Like, it's just a joke. They're all, what can you do with that? And I don't think planet Earth I think planet Earth deserves better than to be an imitation Pleiadians culture. I think we can do better than that. So what can you tell us? What should our team actually be focusing on? Tell us something we don't know.
We definitely need to come together as a species. As I says, there is no outside race or multidimensional beings coming to save anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I strongly believe that the information that the Galactic Federation of Light is putting out now, saying that we're going to be receiving our upgrades to our 6, 7, 8, and 9 strand crystalline bodies during our sleep, so it would be painless. That was yesterday's video, and then today was like, well, we've got new avatars waiting for you. You know, why enter a new simulation in an old car when you can come in, you know, in a brand new one? And so I'm going, well, they're contradicting themselves already, and they just mentioned that we're going to be going into a brand new simulation.
Yeah. No,
red flags.
Well, it sounds like they've already got a massive plan for body snatching, you know, like does the soul.
Well, I believe that they're getting ready to initiate Project Bluebeam. I think that that's what this setup is for.
For the audience, refresh me what Project Bluebeam is.
Project Bluebeam is going to be a holographic false alien invasion. And during this alien, fake alien invasion, they will be, shooting lasers from satellites. They will be using, real missiles from our military.
There'll be fireworks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there'll be some damn, they've got to make it look real. But then all of a sudden, this reptilian race is going to come in and save the day, save the human race, and act as a benevolent.
We're here to save you and eat your children. Like, is this real? Come on.
Well, yeah, and then they're gonna land, and we're gonna be all thankful that they saved us, and then the second coming of Christ, Jesus is going to show up and verify. Oh yes, these are very friendly species.
It's the 1-2 knockout punch, but I think
they're our galactic brothers. You should trust them. Take my word, you should trust them. And then that's going to initiate the new world order under this new species who's going to teach us and show us how to live in harmony.
They'll give us a satanic religion, and we got to offer up our children to their whim. It'll be awesome. Exactly. I can't wait for that. It's going to be so exciting. Yeah. And how far away do you think Project Bluebeam is?
Well, the information that I was receiving myself, as of probably a couple of years ago, was I was giving this month and year that we would be, the humans would be receiving the biggest of the first, not the first step of our download upgrade, but the biggest, largest increase in the amount at one time. So I believe that this month is going to be the height of our consciousness, being implemented, and that's why they're going to, probably this month or next month.
Right. Okay.
And they're going to utilize this to put the fear back into all these raised consciousnesses, lower their vibrations back down.
All right.
And try and stop the ascension process.
Okay. So as humanity goes through a major upgrade in its consciousness in the next little while, you're saying that once they see that card being played in humanity, they're going to play their very, very last card, which is the alien invasion card.
That's the trump card. Well, there's a trump card and a joker card. The trump card is the alien invasion, and the joker on top of it is the second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
Verifying that yes, they're a good species. Trust them.
Right.
Let them teach you.
I suppose something's got to save the Democrats from all the bad press they're getting. But
yeah.
Right. What? Yeah. Look, they'll be over soon enough. What do you think about the timing? Right. So, is there a way for humanity as a species to get through this? Because I can fully see like a media deluge of nonsense about them. And I can see some of the best PR people in the whole world selling out their species just for the honor of fooling everybody, So everybody's
into giving up their entire soul for temporary material gain, it seems to be the way.
Yeah. So what response from humanity would you suggest?
I would suggest open your eyes, wake them up.
Yeah.
It's happening right in front of you. And if you're still blinded by it, if you still cannot accept that your own governments and your own people would do this to you, you need to sit back and realize that Satan is the god of this world. He is the god of this world. Occultism, Satanism, devil worshiping, it's been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. That's the way of this planet. The only way that we're going to rid that, yep. And the only way to rid that is to rid the darkness from it.
Is to purge our satanic cult.
Yes. The only difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is the time that it takes to get known, to get verified.
Yeah.
So if people are still in denial of what's going on around their, right in front of their faces, these devil worshippers and Satanists don't even hide what they're doing anymore.
No.
They're so abundant, and they're so, thinking that they're going to win and that this is going to be the new world. Because that's how distorted the minds are of, demonic entities.
The arrogance is unlimited.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They have no idea. They're just
no.
That's the
mindset. And they think if they stamp their foot and say it, then reality must follow. Then,
indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they could care less if reality follows or not. They will make you follow it. And if you don't, you're part of their supper or sacrifice. More energy for them.
And so what do you think it'll take to purge the Satanists? What do you think's required?
I think that we do need a different governing system. It's too easy to self-benefit within the walls of that, organization.
Well, I'm sure that when it was designed, that they created measures and checks and balances to prevent this from happening. But I just think they've been ignored over the years, ignored and minimized and shelved.
Oh yeah, it's been a long, very patiently waited process.
Yeah.
Very gradual, so that nobody could,
Well, David, I called it the totalitarian tiptoe. Just a little, one more law at a time. One more, just so, and it's quiet when it when it takes so long, it appears quiet. A new governing system without satanic elites.
Definitely. Okay,
here's a good question. What can you tell us that is not common knowledge about the 13 families?
Well, to most, the 13 bloodlines aren't common knowledge to begin with.
Yeah, fair call.
So, the 13 original bloodlines were the certain, family chains back in the day who made deals and, gave up their own species in exchange for temporary material, pleasures, and that their bloodline would always benefit from the original deals that they made. So the 13 original bloodlines.
Let me put that a different way. Let me put it a different way. Like, the prison guards always need snitches, and they offer privilege. And those 13 families are exactly that. Yes,
I see what you're saying. Yes. Yep.
All right. So yeah, what else can you say about them? Because they've been rewarded with unlimited wealth, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, what can't you say about them? The rich stay rich, and they'll always keep the poor poor. I mean, they're the only ones that are going to benefit out of this.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones that have benefited out of this. Well, in their eyes, in the long run, they've got the price to pay. But
Well, like I don't know what the correct price is for selling out your species. I don't know. I can't imagine what it would be.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not just your brethren, but your entire species of
Yeah,
brethren.
totally. Yeah, like, well, I don't know. I don't know how much money that I don't know what you could be offered to do that. But somehow these guys seem to know the right price.
If
What?
that's what they want to think.
So what else can you tell us? What else, like give it? You think Project Bluebeam is actually pretty close?
I do. That would explain all of the latest, sightings
Yeah.
globally happening, and it's preparing us, uh desensitizing us for when it does happen.
Yeah.
Um that we'll be, accepted. Well, hey, they were up there watching out for us for a little while. They could have attacked us and they could have destroyed us, but they never did. And then lo and behold, they seen it coming. So they were here to save us, you know.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Just like the planes that hit the tower, Twin Towers,
Yeah.
holographic.
Yeah. Yeah.
These
You see
holograms.
the footage in slow motion, and it's just kind of there's something definitely not right about that.
Yeah.
But
And people are like, well, they can't make holographs that good. You're living in a hologram. Think about
yeah.
that. It's
Which species will they be defeating? Like the reptilians, who will they be fighting in that
That's
stuff?
a good question. I'm not sure which race they're going to use as the bad guys, or if
The
we're even
scapegoat.
going
Yeah.
to, yeah, if it's even going to be known. But I know that it's going to be a reptilian race that's the saviors, and then it's going to be backed up by Jesus. But
Terrible, terrible news. Terrible, terrible news. Well, I'm
yeah,
glad you can confirm a whole bunch of things about this. Like it seems like yeah, an unlimited amount of crazy going on out there, and the fact if it
I was pretty content with the information that I would receive, for the past few years.
Mhm.
But I'll tell you what, the information that I've been receiving just in the last 5-6 months
Mhm.
has put my brain on overload. I did not realize the depth and I mean, this is
How much do
way, way deeper than I think any of us even imagined.
well, they've had unlimited time and unlimited resources to express what appears to be an unlimited depravity. And like everyone who can be bought has already been bought. Everybody that's happy to sell out is selling the rest of us out.
Yep.
Everything, every program, every plan, every action that they can take, that they can dream up, they've probably already implemented. It's probably a program up and running.
Well, yeah. I mean, uh, man has been worshiping artificial intelligence as a god for I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years.
Is that what you did?
I mean,
Is that
if you
what you
look
would
back
just,
on the,
yeah?
huh?
Keep
If
going.
you look at the Sanskrit and things like that on the pyramids, you'll
Mhm.
see people with laptops that got USB ports. You'll
Yeah.
see pictures from the late 1800s, and somebody's talking on a cell phone. Well, then I started thinking about that, and then it came to my mind that back through history, you always heard about a king or an emperor or somebody. They had their oracle, or they had their mystic.
Yeah.
Only certain individuals could reach the higher helms, right?
Well,
And then I
I
started
would
noticing
contest
that
that
in
actually.
pictures they all had an earpiece. And then it dawned on me the Mayan king's name, Bluetooth. I was like, holy shit, the black satellite. They're communicating with the black satellite, getting the info
Oh, yeah, no, they
all
don't.
this time.
Yeah, no, yeah. And it's far from impossible, you know.
Yeah, it can't be that much of a coincidence.
Yeah, look, and I have been like, and the wizard and the warlord, you know, from someone like as simple as Merlin and Arthur, you know, but they've always had titles like Oracle or Grand Vizier or something like that. Wherever you go,
Yeah,
they have the wizard and the warlord.
yeah.
Yeah, but you,
Well, it's because there's two sides of magic. You know, you got your natural
yeah,
magics where you take from one, defeat another, and create energy, and then you've got your alchemists who are using dark, you know, demonic type of magic, black magic that is unnatural.
Well, yeah, we're not into it because it's the feedstock for it is human life. It
Yeah.
doesn't, like, it doesn't run on petrol. Yeah, no, it's the insanity is unlimited. Like it,
Yeah,
you know, and the problem is that that stuff actually works. You know, unfortunately,
exactly.
though those
Yeah.
guys, you know, they're not idiots. They're just morally incredibly corrupt, and they'll do
Well,
whatever.
yeah,
to make you go.
fallen seraphims brought that, you know, the wisdoms from the heavens here, which they weren't supposed to do, and taught it to mankind. And I mean, for what benefit? Because they wanted to be the, you know, the gods.
We want to be the number ones.
Yeah, do for us, do for us. Keep feeding us that, you know, energy, because they're parasitic, you know, they're vampiric. They cannot survive on their own energy.
Yeah, no, they
Create their own
bleed.
energy.
They bleed, but their own energy is not going to be enough. They're not a.
Yeah.
They're not a.
Yeah, they no longer hold the Christos template. You know, they've been cut off that. They're archons now. They're not angelic beings, they're archons.
Silly, silly people.
Yeah.
Talk about bad choice.
Yeah, as with anything, there's always a true underlining to every story. And I think that's what the Galactic Federation, you know, started off with. Like I said, I followed them for a while. But that's because I would hear things that resonated with the things that I would receive. But then I stopped using my intuition and you know, discernment on it, because I trusted them. It's like, well, I don't need to question their word. I trust them. I believe them.
Well, it's called social validation, right?
Yeah.
If you look at somebody on YouTube and they've got 50,000 subscribers, that's 50,000 people who think this guy's doing it right, you know? And so it's very, you know, your verification comes through a social group. But as far as the Pleiadians go, I don't think that ever happened. I don't think I think the first handful took it as gospel, and nobody has ever checked since, you know, and that's if it's not worse than that. If there isn't you know, you talk to the Pleiadians, you get a "you must love us" download. You know, they have an entrainment download for the humans, which I'm certain they do. You know?
Yeah, the Pleiadians are a very, very benevolent species, but just because, you know, they wouldn't come and initiate a war, or they wouldn't, you know, act upon war as a species themselves, does not mean that they're not going to orchestrate it or set up the plan. Yeah,
they're not going to get paid off
put
to
all the pieces in place and let somebody else play the game. You know,
as slave masters go, they'd probably be less nasty than the reptilians. But you know, is that an improvement in situation at all? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think I'd rather be pet than, you know, ate. But all in all, yeah. You know. We are definitely not here to be a, you know, another planet's species pet on our planet, you know.
That's not on my agenda. No.
Yeah.
The
ascension process is us taking on, raising our frequencies, grounding ourselves, feeding it to Gaia. In return, Gaia raises her frequency, gives it back to us.
What's the difference between the ascension process and Earth's independence process in your mind?
The what? I'm sorry.
Earthlings' independence is the whole ascension story in my mind, could be a Pleiadian plant concept. It could be just a furphy they made up. So that, you know, when the time comes, they can say, oh, this download, it's for ascension. Us taking you off planet, it's part of the ascension, you know, and they've already seeded the concept.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was going through some of my my folders a couple of weeks ago. I always keep a tablet and pen, and because I'll wake up in the morning and I'll have a few pages of downloads that I didn't know I received, you know, through a dream. And what I had read, I literally folded it up and locked it away in my safe. And I was like, you know, and this was information that I, you know, it was written in 2011. And my theory was, or I guess it wasn't a theory, it was something that, you know, information that I received that I guess I never read it back then. But it was, you know, we all know that the sun's a portal. Okay, well, in order to ascend into the fifth dimension, we've got to go through that portal. But once we get on the other side of that portal, that's where the sun god Ra, remote access, the artificial intelligence god, is waiting for us. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. Yeah, now that you're here, we need to upgrade your bodies so that they can handle the high frequencies. So, you know, go ahead and lay down this cot and we'll plug in and get your uploads to you.
We'll sort
and that's when they wipe your, you know, erase your mind and zap you in and send you back down here and start it all over again. Recycle us.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you hear about what's going on with the secret space program guys, where, like, you know, you've got to be in Earth, you've got to be in space because Earth's been destroyed. Like, we're the suit, and that just makes everybody work all the harder. If you think you're one of the last of the human species flying around the galaxy looking for a home, you just work that much harder. You don't complain about overtime. You know, you're pretty motivated.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know, and that tech's already flying around.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Tell us a space Nazi story. We love the space Nazi stories. I sound like I'm being facetious with this. I sound like I'm being facetious, but I'm not at all. Am I?
No. Yeah, it sparks interest in quite a few people.
Yeah.
Here's something I don't think that very many know. Conspiracy theorists and people that have heard from conspiracy theorists are well aware that the Germans were the first to have, you know, traded information for modern technology or future technology and things like that. But what I don't think many know is that Hitler himself was a android. He was created by the Greys. He was a carbon droid, although he was not wired, or, you know, like we build droids. He was a carbon-based droid made from the Greys.
Well, look, in historical terms, like I always had a question over Hitler, right? Because Hitler's rise to power, he would go and literally stand in a soapbox in the town square and start spouting nonsense, start spouting national rules, right? Now, most people walk past them, but I always thought that there was something else. I thought he had some mass mind-to-mind transmission, some sort of mental domination technique. That's what I always thought. I thought he had something where he could literally force his ideas into other people's minds. And if he's
much like the reptilians, you know, they don't actually shape. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what you're saying?
Much like the reptilians, they're not actual shape shifters. It's them getting into your subconscious mind and manipulating it to where you perceive them as another human being.
Yeah, they alter your interpretation inside of you, not the actual physics of them.
Exactly.
Right. And I was sure that Hitler was pulling a stunt like that. I thought it was some.
Well, you know, the laws of the laws of free will is they can't just come here and do what they want. So he was telling them what he was planning on doing.
Yeah.
Much like, the halftime show.
Well, yeah, I want to make allies with the West and use Russia and the Slavic races as Lebensraum. Like it's as living space for us real people, the Germans, you know, for us for us Nordics, you know, it would be Nordics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But so the Germans got the jump on humanity as far as what's the word I'm looking for? Breakaway civilizations go.
Yeah, they had bases on the moon back in the 40s.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, one I believe was called Little Auschwitz, was one of their moon base stations.
I believe it. Yeah.
And also they had been, their first clone was made in 1938. A cloned human. Yeah, they were really advanced as far as getting the jump on trading future technology and things like that.
Yeah, it's hard to understand it, you know, if the leader is actually an alien plant, like what isn't the country going to devote, what resources isn't the country going to devote to the betterment of that group?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so they're still flying around out there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's multiple bases on the moon, Mars. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, yeah, look,
Definitely be surprised.
yeah, okay. All right. So like they have a well-established grip on our solar system.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so how many SSPs are there? At a guess.
There are SSPs that are so secret that you don't even know about the other.
You don't know you have an SSP
You only know about your
has a
department.
splinter SSP that has a splinter SSP that you just never knew anything about.
Yeah. There's divisions in there that you wouldn't even think existed. You think that you're in the top of the knowing, but you're only dealing with one aspect of what they want you to know, what they're disclosing to you.
Right. So yeah, but how big is the Earth fleet? Might be another way to question it. How many colonies do we have up in the cosmos, et cetera, et cetera? Like, I have a lot of like, how do we gauge the size of it?
I don't know too much on that subject as far as how far we have reached.
Yep.
I would imagine it's pretty damn far though. Earth is one of two planets in our solar system that actually has the access to the 12 different dimensions.
Okay.
Earth is the weakest of those two, the most vulnerable of those two planets.
Which
So
is
that's why it's so sought after.
Which is the other one?
That I'm not sure of, and I think that it's not disclosed for a reason, But yeah, Earth is the most vulnerable of the two.
Well,
and
yeah,
and it being one of the prime planets for its minerals and riches and
there's a lot
abundance.
of nice things to say about Earth, and having access to 12 dimensions is really quite a surprising bonus. But if you're
Well,
saying,
Earth is actually positioned like if you're on a highway
yep,
in space. Imagine, everybody takes that highway to get to where we're going.
sure.
We're right at the cutoff, right at the beginning, the start, and right at the end. So everybody that's going by, it was planted here for a reason. It was basically an experimental, like a human zoo. It was an experiment. Think of it as like a jar on your a kid's nightstand.
Yeah.
And people come in and just look at it and watch and want to see, how it's growing. What have they gotten? What's going on?
What are they doing now? Yeah, like no, I think like the hybridization programs by everybody who drives past. It just feels like a diner at a busy turnoff. Everybody stops to have a meal there. Everybody stops to pick a bit of. Everybody harvests a bit of DNA, sees what the hybrid looks like.
Well, the humans are a lot more powerful than they are aware of. Way, way more powerful than what they are aware of. And this is why we're so sought after and suppressed of our, history and knowledge.
Yeah.
There's not many species out there like us humans. So I'll tell you that. and it'll all be coming to effect here real soon.
Well, yeah, that's the rumor. Like that seems to be the big secret is that, you know, if humans were in in our own power, we'd probably dominate most of the area, probably dominate this section of the galaxy.
I would say that we would dominate every universe.
Yeah, okay.
What we do in one universe has the ability to make an effect in the other. Like I was saying, the work that you're doing,
Yeah,
it's not
well,
just having a effect here in this galaxy. That's
oh,
being felt on, multiple planets. You rid one demon,
mhm.
and that demon is seated as a god on 1,300 other different planets and multiverses.
Yeah.
You've wiped him out. You've just taken care of that many more planets.
I've just solved the problem for 1,300 planets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
because it's all connected through the
that's
web.
beautiful and sweet, but I'm only concerned with Earth right now. I mean, save
Exactly.
the galaxy is a fucking wonderful place. I'm certain of it, right? But I'm very concerned about my home right now, and I think Earth is the
Exactly.
priority. And I want to
Yeah,
get
let's
caught
not
up
go
in.
throw rocks at somebody else's window if we live in a glass house, right?
Yeah, I look, you know, I'm sure the Gafati people of Wapti Wapti Planet are really nice people, and I'd love to have them over for a Sunday barbecue. But right now, I do not give two stuffs about them.
Yeah, and they're not invited.
Yeah,
So
they're
don't
not
show
here.
up. We ain't got enough food to give you.
They're not part of the equation here. Like, sorry, we just got to figure this
Exactly.
one out. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
The only thing that we have been taught since we've been manipulated
Mm-hmm.
is how to stay out of disharmony with the planet. And that is the main key, is you have to have polars, the yin and the yang, the black and the white. If you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have, I mean, that's the truth behind the duality. If you didn't have one chase that you got to pull and you got to tug.
Well,
What happens to polar opposites when they get together?
you're
They
talking.
cause confusion and have a reaction, which causes vibration. The vibration causes energy, and that's what keeps.
And it's the novelty of the vibrations that keeps the place entertaining. It's the freshness of different vibrations as you alter
Exactly.
this or the other one. I will
Exactly.
make I will make a distinction, right? There's the third and the fourth hermetic laws, right? Masculine, feminine is one of the hermetic laws, and good and evil is another hermetic laws, right? They both fall under the pretext of polarity,
Yeah.
and the yin yang is used to describe both.
Yes.
However, and because I speak Mandarin, I know what yin and yang mean, right? And yin is feminine and yang is masculine.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Yep.
the yin yang is specific to the masculine and feminine dynamic, which is the third law, hermetic law. The fourth hermetic law of good and evil is not a fucking yin yang. It's not equal. It's not the relationship is not the same at all. It's of parasite and host, which
Exactly.
not
Yes.
described. It's not described by the yin yang object. But if you use it in context of good and evil, then suddenly evil gets all of these rights and honor and goodness, and it's virtuous in that it fucks with white whenever it wants, with goodness whenever it wants, because like that's the natural order of things, baby. But it's not.
Yeah. You
It's
can't have
not
light without the
okay.
dark. Don't be judgmental.
No,
You
that's
wouldn't
right.
exist without
Actually,
them.
you totally can have light without dark. You
Yeah.
totally can.
Exactly.
And if human liberation is the thing we're actually aiming for, that's the facts. That's what we've got to do.
Yes.
Right? How much dark do you think there's going to be once we purge the satanic cult? Like, what will be the new balance there? Will we have to
Yeah.
make up nastiness just to keep it in balance? No, it's not in human nature.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, lower vibrational entities, I mean, they can't even stand being in the presence of us high vibrational people anyways. It's like, that kid in class that sits behind you and keeps flicking your back of your head.
Yeah.
It just irritates, our vibration irritates shit out of them.
Yeah. Well,
they can't take it. So as these upgrades come, I think the energy itself that is going to be emitting is going to be chasing a lot of them off.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of them right the hell out of here.
Well, look, it'll just limit their capacity to operate on Earth, which will suit us just fine. Just fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, without the negative influences here, we'll
human
start to
culture
learn to
will
get along.
blossom. Human
Yep.
culture will blossom.
Exactly.
And it'll be a place of
Yep.
honor and delight and playfulness, and a beacon to galactic goodness. But let's claim the first square on the chessboard, this one, and then we can go after the rest of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, Star Trek's not a bad idea. Let's have a crack at that. That sounds like fun, and I'm sure I'd look fantastic in a jumpsuit. I really do. So that's the important thing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have we got more you want to say on all of this, Jazz?
No, I just wanted to shed some light on that.
No,
Uh,
you're bringing some detail to what's otherwise a little bit obscured.
yeah.
And we're talking about 15 subjects at once, so we're not diving too deep into anything. But
Yeah.
it's still helpful to get the viewpoint from an insider. Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, and it helps us, and it gives us a little bit more intel about what to do and what to prepare for next.
And watch how many people are still gonna panic and scream and run and
Oh, look, I think it's going to be a great circus. Like,
oh, it is. It's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good
totally,
show. Yeah.
totally. Like, I can't imagine. Like, how do people react when your planet gets invaded? Who knows, mate? Who knows?
Yeah.
That's something to look forward
Well,
to.
unfortunately, the people that ridiculed and laughed and made fun of us,
Mhm.
we will be here holding space for them to comfort them, to let them know that it's going to be okay.
Well, no, it's. I got this other idea that I wanted to run by you. Like you said so yourself. Like there's levels of depravity, and as you're getting downloads over time, you got to emotionally absorb the fact that actually, like, this is happening, and that's happening, and that's happening too. Oh my god, and that, and I've got like
Yeah.
it really, if you absorbed it all in one hit,
Survival of the fittest.
surprise, surprise. Yeah, 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 it would definitely be that. But I know it took me like 5 or 10 years to absorb just how messed up the story here is on Earth, like just how much drama there is going on, right? Do you
Yeah.
actually think people can be converted overnight? Do you think like they really can wake up and see the whole picture?
No, if they're not awake by now, what's getting ready to come is yeah, I think a lot of them are gonna lose their minds.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the old saying, don't open that third eye if you're not prepared to
see what
accept what you see,
yeah.
Because you can't unsee your mind can't unsee what the eyes see. There's no turning back. So
totally. It's Alice in Wonderland. Take the which red pill, blue pill, I forget. Red pill. Yeah. If once you get red pilled, like there's no going back. So I've got another concept that I wanted to run by you. Like we're fighting 1%, right, or less of the establishment. The rest of them are just following orders. The rest of them are just drones. Like the bulk of them don't know what they're doing and don't really understand who they're fighting for. But also at the same time, on our side, it's really only 1% of people who get the whole picture. And
true.
yeah. And so it's actually the 1% against the 1% is my current theory.
Very good, because there's only 5% of real humans globally. The other 95% are backfills, fill-ins, droids, other multidimensional beings. But there's only 5% of actual humans.
Are you saying we've been totally invaded already?
I would say 70% of the population are soulless, carbon-based droids they're the extras in the movie.
Yeah, no, it's NPCs.
Go into a restaurant.
Yeah,
yeah, and their agenda and only reason of being here is to distract, mislead, cause chaos, disrupt those of us who are
create drama for
awakened.
Yeah, okay. To make life hard. Yeah, okay.
To make us feel even more of a minority,
or even more of a misfit.
Why am I the only one that's like this, and everybody else is,
Yeah, I get you.
So yeah,
that's the
so, yeah, I would say you're spot on right there.
Yeah, okay. So doesn't and here's the conclusion, right? Doesn't that make it all the more important for that 1% to get fucking busy? Get out there and do something for your planet. I don't care what it is. You dream up something cool that you think will make this place a better place to live, and do that. I'm really glad you're watching my YouTube channel. That gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling, but it's not necessarily making the world a better place. So
exactly. Get off the couch from watching it and make a difference.
And roll up your sleeves, and it doesn't even matter what you do, just something like this.
Even if it's to walk outside for 15 minutes a day barefoot, get grounded.
It's a recharge. I say that in the most literal way. Like, you have a positive and negative polarity, and then you have an earthing polarity in electricity, and you can earthing
purges
is actually recharge.
Yeah,
and earth in electrical terms is there to bleed off any excess energy that's in the circuit, and in human terms, that's actually your worries, your problems, the dramas that are going on around you, the things that are emotionally too big for you to handle, like you're overwhelmed. It all gets discharged through earthing. The parallels are exact. I'm sure you'll say the same thing.
Yeah, that's why they say, connect with nature.
Totally.
Go on a nature walk. Go river rafting, climb a mountain, walk
all
some
the fun
trails.
stuff. All the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reconnect with nature.
Yeah. Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. But please, I want you, if you watch this video, switch off the computer and spend like 20 minutes, half an hour writing a list of cool things that you might do that'll help advance humanity's interests. It might be you might come up with one idea, you might come up with 50. All of them are good. All could just and that list then becomes instructions.
And even if it's not to do something, to stop doing something.
Yeah, it's just as good.
It's causing harm.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so get off your ass, humanity. Like we got work to do.
Yeah. What people need to understand is that the dark, they're controlling both sides. If they're not telling us, we're different, you're Catholic or Christian, or black or white, or vax or non-vax,
Republican, Democrat, whatever the story is,
Yeah, it's causing us to fight amongst ourselves, keeping our attention off of them, while they benefit the entire time.
While they close the trap that we may or may not be able to escape from, But they just they have there to enact one more layer of the trap. Yeah. If you're one of David's friends, and you're into all of this psychic mystic mumbo jumbo, then then I just might be ready to. I'm halfway curious to recruit you. You guys sound like an interesting mob. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's been awesome talking to you, brother. Like, I feel like you get it, man. You get it. Like, you're already on the right page.
Time to make a difference. Time is now.
Never a better one. All right. Love to you all.
And it is you and your team, Alabar, that is making the difference. I think you too.
You reckon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we're laughing our ass off, right? I've had tears in my eyes at the concept that we're the ones that humanity is depending on to save the planet. Like, I have literally cried tears over how funny it is that you guys depend on us to save the planet. It's ridiculous. And if I'm the point man on this show, and I have fucking deep doubts that that's the case, then I don't know what to think. If humanity is even worth saving, like, I really wonder. But
that's what kind of scares me too.
yeah, totally.
But you got to remember, these are master manipulators who've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. Yeah. But then again, I mean, I can see red flags. I can see what's going on around me. I mean, get off your phones, get off your televisions, go outside, be aware of what's going on around you.
Yeah. Look, cook up. Look, humans are incredibly imaginative beings, right? Oh, yeah. So cook up your own thing, right? Like, I cooked up this whole this astral travel vigilante group, right? But just because I was bored on a Sunday afternoon, right? and the whole world just
did you really?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. See what I mean?
Like, I think I'm gonna go get me some Archons.
I've been doing that for years. Like, I used to ride around on trains and just them off people. Just like, because I know what a pain in the ass these guys are. But yeah. Like, if I can pull a stunt like this, if I can inspire hope, then you can do better. All right, you guys can do heaps better. Yeah. Love to you all. Get moving, people. You got a sign out for him, Dave? You got a last message for him?
Yeah, I would. I would just like to say, connect with yourselves. You really need to wake up. You need to stop playing their game. Stop letting them win.
Trust your own judgment. Make your own decisions.
Yeah. Quit being a follower. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do it for you. What's the old saying? I didn't say it was going to be easy. I just said it was going to be worth it.
Yeah.
It is up to each individual themselves to fight through the demons, to release the negatives, energies, to rise above it, to elevate themselves.
Yeah.
Into a better person.
So it's on you, people. It's all on you.
Start judging with your heart.
Yep. It's on you.
Yep. Yeah. Only you can save you.
God bless you all.
If you're not going to do the work, and you shadow work,
you don't get it. You don't get.
You're going to disappear with them.
Yeah, you get an iconic universe.
They don't get it.
26,000 years. Good luck. Have fun with that. I'm not coming. All right. See you later. All right. Love to you all. All right. Ciao for now. Exactly. Bye bye.